Hi everybody, Andy Lightbody, Rocky Mountain Television. We're at ICAST 2011. We're shooting for BigFishTackle.com. We've seen a lot of neat rods, reels, lures, personal flotation devices, everything that you need to get out on the water. Now, let me tell you something here that's kind of special today. We're with Chris Nelson from the Onos group, where we've got the Ernest Hemingway designer type glasses. And Chris is the one that's kind of the motivational factor behind it. And for those of the family that don't know who Ernest Hemingway was, man, you must live in a cave under a rock or not much of an outdoors person. Chris, thanks for taking the time to talk to us today. Tell us a little bit. We've known Onos for years. I mean, fabulous stuff with the cheaters where you can put, for us blind guys that can't see, to tie something. Chris's complete line has really made it easy. But what we're talking about here is designer glasses, which is kind of a new leap for you guys in a whole new direction. Tell us what came about.
Well, actually, it's more than just design. We're at ICAST this year, ICAST 2011, and we're here to promote the Ernest Hemingway polarized performance sunglasses. But we have more than just fashion frames. We also have performance frames. So we have frames for both a fisherman who wants to be on the water and look good, as well as a fisherman who wants to take his wife and daughter to dinner.
This is a whole new way of partnering with a group that really can see, I mean, Ernest Hemingway was probably a Papa Hemingway as anybody really feels close to his books. You know, such a legend in terms of the out of doors and hunting, the fishing, everything, well, out of doors. How did you guys get started in on this?
And that's an interesting story, Andy, because Ernest Hemingway, a lot of people always know him that he's a very literary figure in the world. But not too many people know that he was a big fisherman, big game fisherman, freshwater fisherman, fly fisherman, as well as a big game hunter. So his lifestyle was conducive to the outdoors. That's kind of why we wanted to partner with the Ernest Hemingway family and gain the license so we could promote a line of Ernest Hemingway polarized performance sunglasses. They're available in both with the readers, with the bifocal, as well as without, and even prescription. So we have all walks of life who can be reintroduced to Ernest Hemingway, what he was all about, through the sunglasses and the lifestyle adventure that he lived.
How are you guys going to make these available to the public? There'll be distribution centers, major sporting goods stores will be carrying them. What are you anticipating? What are you hoping for?
Well, we're anticipating a successful launch here at ICAST. That's why we held off until ICAST to launch it. Even though it's mid-July, we're looking at third quarter and fourth quarter, we're going to be really aggressive, trying to get the product out into the retailers' hands so they can in turn sell it to the consumers. I mean, we're looking for distributors, we're looking for retailers, we're looking for consumers who want to purchase Ernest Hemingway polarized performance sunglasses.
This particular line, different styles, different looks, things like that, how many are going to be available?
Well, we've got really exciting colors. We've got done our due diligence. We've researched what's popular. Of course, black and tortoise is very popular. But we also added a very nice, attractive plaid tortoise. Combination colors. The lens colors are going to be amber and gray. And we've got all the bells and whistles. We've got heavy-duty spring-loaded hinges. We've got the rubber brows on all the frames. So, to answer your question, Andy, it's 2 frame styles. And then we'll have a total of 6 different colors within those 2 frame styles.
Because they got to be heavy duty. I mean, for me, even, I'm terrible on my glasses. I really, really am. And they've got some girth to it. They've got some feel to it that they don't feel like they're flimsy. Of course, if they were that, they wouldn't have the Ernest Hemingway name on it.
He lived life large.
He was a tough dude. If people would like more information about the line, if people would like more information about availability and when they're going to be and where they can find them, things like that, I'm sure you've got a website you'd like to go to.
Well, initially, to get all the information and pricing, the only way that you can find out about them is go to our website, www.onos.com, www.onos.com.
I got a rare privilege to be sitting next to this gentleman. This is actually Ernest or Papa Hemingway's son, Patrick. Patrick, I mean, wow, Dad was bigger than life, wasn't he?
He certainly was, but he was very conscious of that we only have really one life.
He had a saying.
Only life.
Is that what he said?
One and only life. And he said, the other thing he said is he never missed the sunrise. Now, I don't think that was literally true.
I said, I read some of the books. I know he was still sleeping it off at some of those points, but
But it did highlight the fact that he felt that you had to get out of this life if you were going to get into it. This was the one that was important. And
I mean, he lived really a legendary lifestyle. I mean, he was one tough son of a gun, you know, and I cleaned it up because he would have said it another way, but hunter, fisherman, freshwater, saltwater, he did it all, didn't he?
well, I'll tell you one way that he was tough, and that was he was really a very good boxer.
Really?
And he actually would box with people like Gene Tunney. I mean, you know, he was, and what, he was not a person to insult in a bar. I mean, if
You'd be waking up on the floor,
you were
wouldn't
on
you?
the floor before you knew what hit you.
Let's talk a little bit about, you know, everybody called him Papa. That's the way when they say Ernest Hemingway, I immediately say, oh, Papa Hemingway.
Well, we called him Papa. His kids called him Papa, which is not the usual thing you call your dad here unless you're an immigrant. But Frank Capra, the famous photographer, when he was in Sun Valley doing a shoot for Life magazine, and we were all calling our dad Papa, he said, can I call you Papa too? And my dad said, all right, if you want. And that's when it took off.
Is it really? And it stuck at that point.
I think it was one of those shoots, it was called Life Goes to a Party in those days, you know, and I think that's when it started. We were there in Sun Valley.
Papa Hemingway. In your dad's day, he didn't have these kind of sunglasses or access to really much of anything like what we're seeing today.
Well, you know,
what did he think of this?
Well, before you had Polaroids, they had dark glasses, but they didn't really do much for it. I mean, if you're a fisherman or an outdoorsman today, the idea of not using Polaroids is just dumb. I mean,
You're burning your eyes.
not only, I mean, you want to protect your eyes for sure, but also you see so much.
You can't see anything.
Yeah. With Polaroids, you can see down into the water, which you can't do otherwise.
You had a hand in this. Are you happy with this? Would
Very.
your dad be happy with
I
this?
think with the styling and the quality of the lenses, everything is outstanding.
That about says it all, doesn't it? You know, and the different styles. I mean, these are these are cool looking. I mean,
Yeah, and I think they're not specifically designed for the ladies yet, but some of the more color models I think will also appeal to women.
Dad would be happy. Dad would be happy. Well, as you can see, there's various styles and things like that. We talked a little bit with Chris Nelson about some of the styles, the availability, and it's kind of nice to see that the legend continues, you know, with you being here, looking at, and liking everything that you're
I
seeing.
really do like what I see.
Outstanding. Thanks for joining us, everybody. We're live here on the floor, ICAST 2011.